Hello and welcome to a special edition of Unboxing. Today we are on location at the shooting range. Reason being is I want to get this thing on the gun and test it, and I wanted to do the unboxing before I mounted any rings to it. So this comes our way from Patreon supporter Cole again. I guess he enjoyed his Burris RT6 video enough to say, hey, you know what? I just picked up PST 1 to 6 and I really want to see you do a review on it. So he reached out to me on my Patreon again, and that was about a week or so ago, and here we are. So forewarning, this is a reconditioned model from AAOptics.com. Yes, you can buy refurbished versions of some Vortex scopes through them. They have anything from the bottom range Diamondback to the top of the line Razor HDs. I have not seen any HD Gen 2s yet, but they have had the 1 to 6s. Actually, have they? No, I don't think they have, but they've definitely had the LHs, which are the 2 to 10s, or 2.5 to 10s, and the Gen 1 Razor HD 5 to 20. So this comes from them. So just be forewarned, packaging might not be 100% on par because this is technically a refurbished scope. So looking at the box, it's typical Vortex, nice dark gray. Seals are, of course, already opened. I've already been playing with this, but you can see the wear and tear on the box. I don't know if this is just from it being at AA Optics or just how they got it in from Vortex. So I'm assuming that AA Optics buys directly from Vortex or Vortex sends them directly to them. You can see 1 to 6 by 24 with a VMR2 MOA reticle, and it looks very similar to that of the Razor HD 1 to 6 Gen 2 that I did from Sparks. So popping off the top, we have right off the bat, I don't know if this box was included or not. We're supposed to be there, but I had it inside. We have, which is unusual for an LPVO, a sunshade. So I didn't know that LPVOs came with sunshades. Most of the ones I've reviewed, or actually up until this moment, none of them have had a sunshade. So it's kind of interesting to see this. And I'll show you what that looks like on it in a little bit. And, well, here we have it. Already comes with a bikini cover. Not the best fitting, but, you know, this is not a very expensive scope. I'll be lying if I told you if I knew off the top of my head exactly what this costs. I believe it's in the high 400s, low 500s. High 400s, low 500s. I think that's what I said, but just to make sure. And there we have it. Before we get more involved in this, let's see what's inside the box. I'm just going to put that down. It was in a plastic bag. Got a little Vortex card. Team Vortex sticker. That's pretty nice. Attention to properly mount your scope using inch pounds, 18-inch pounds, no more, and preferably no less. Cleaning cloth. And of course, the owner's manual. Brand new battery and a little Allen key. Let's do a real quick flip through of the, there's two. So second focal plane, 1 to 6 by 24. Let's see what this has. Basically telling you what things are, how to adjust it. Standard run-of-the-mill stuff. Yada, yada, yada. Now, I'm sure this is going to get more in detail with the reticle. Yep. Beautiful, how to use it, how to range with it, all important stuff. And if you get one of these, having this pamphlet is very cool to have, because what's the point of having something if you don't know how to use it properly? All right, I can put this stuff away later. I don't know about you, but I want to see this in with a sunshade, because I've never seen one with a sunshade before. Oh yes, that is impressive. It actually just looks kind of ridiculous, but you know, if you want to do it, you have the option, which is really sweet. At quick glance, this will look very familiar to the Razor HD 1 to 6 Gen 2 that I just reviewed from Sparks, and that's because it is very similar. Gigantic turrets, both elevation and windage. The big knob over here for the illumination, though this is not locking, this is just an illumination knob. 1 to 6, pretty stiff, but not terrible. We have about 180 degrees of rotation to get from 1 to 6. It feels pretty good in hand. Ocular adjustment's very tight. Really tight. I wouldn't worry about that coming loose. And it feels like there's very little play in there, which is a good thing. I'm curious to see how these stack up against the Razer HD turrets. And I wonder, yes, these are labeled left and right, but how do they sound? These feel awesome. A little bit of play once it's lined up, but when you go to rotate it, very positive clicks. Good audio too. The windage turret feels a little bit more robust than the elevation turret, though the elevation turret is a little bit harder to spin, but they still both have a little bit of play once they're in location. But it's not terrible. This being an MOA scope, one click is half MOA, which again I feel is perfectly fine for an LPVO like this. Illumination goes from 1 to 10 with offs in between each stop. Let's take a look at it. Wow, 10 is very bright. 10 is almost as bright as I would say that the Razer HD is, which is incredible. Again, Vortex is very smart with doing just a simple red dot in the middle of this. It allows them to be really bright with it. It's fantastic. Let's see. See, that's one thing I don't like. But again, this is not a top tier scope. The battery cover does twist with the Illumination Ring, so you have to hold on to this while loosening that. But at least the Illumination Ring itself has really nice and aggressive knurling to it, so you can really get a good purchase on there. There is, as you can see, a bit of wobble with the Illumination Ring, both when it's off or on. It doesn't really matter. But again, keep in mind, this is a refurbished scope. I believe these were going on AA Optics for low 400s, like 400 or 425. I'll definitely double check with Cole, find out what he paid for this. So I don't know if maybe this is just inherent to the scope itself or just because it's been refurbished. I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know. Made in the Philippines, part number, everything else you're going to need to know on that. Fit and finish on this feels pretty good. All the controls feel pretty nice. I'll be honest, it feels really good actually. I'm really interested to see how this would compare with the 1 to 6 Gen 2 Razer HD, only because this is a little baby brother to it, but at, you know, as near as makes a difference, a third the price. So I think for a lot of people this would be a really good option. But right off the bat, just looking through it, playing around with it without really putting it through its paces, I can tell it's definitely going to fill a void between the Strike Eagles, both the 1 to 6 and the 1 to 8, and the Razer series. So I think this is going to be fantastic and an option that I'm going to really enjoy, as I'm sure all of you will. So keep an eye on my full review coming up soon for this, but I have high hopes for this. I really do. If it's 1/3 as good as the Razer HD, then it's absolutely worth whatever they want to charge for this. Thank you very much for watching. Cole, you absolute madman, thank you so much for sending this over. I'm eternally grateful and can't wait to play around with this thing. Thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.